Excuse me, is anybody sitting here? Sorry, this seat's taken. Sorry.
Brandon, I know we talked a lot last week about we're back in full-blown movie mode, the blockbuster season from here on out. The first week immediately after, we're in a dry season.
And you know what? That's okay because it gives Project Hail Mary a little bit more legs, and I can live with that.
I agree with you. But there was a lot of movie content that came out that we're going to go over. Biggest movie that came out over the weekend was They Will Kill You, which I talked about on this podcast, and I knew you weren't going to go see it. So we came up with a backup plan, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you went to go see Ready or Not 2 last week, where you talked about right after the last episode, and definitely, Brandon, if you handled that movie, you could definitely handle this They Will Kill You. Like, it's extremely similar. And to the point where I don't go to church, but like I feel like I need to go to church because 3 movies back to back. I went to go see Ready or Not 2, where it's about devil worshippers. I went to go see They Will Kill You, about devil worshippers, and the third or the 4th episode of Invincible came out, was about Satan himself. I was like, there's too much going on. There's too much going on. I need to be careful now.
Thankfully, it's Sunday, so you know what? Right after this, take the drive and get the Lord in you.
But there's a lot to talk about this week. I got a lot of Hollywood updates we're going to be talking about. Some new trailers, some new shows I wanted to bring out to you because we haven't really talked too much about shows quite yet. And I'm invested in currently 4 shows now. 4 shows now. It's a busy season with an additional coming up. Euphoria's coming back this week as well. So my plate is stacked for a while.
It's a good problem to have. This is what we were waiting for. Obviously, with the movie's still kicking back into gear, having so much TV. Like, I'm watching a lot of the Paramount shows, fortunately / unfortunately. They're pretty much all hate watches, but we have a lot of content to get through, which is great.
I want to hear what you're watching on Paramount because I know nothing about what's going on in Paramount right now. Right now, I've been like, Max has been my friend right now. But I'll go into that in deep stuff. But first, I want to talk about, this is the big one coming back. Daredevil is back. It premiered on Disney+. 8 weekly episodes going to be coming out, with the exception of the second week, which is this current week coming out. There will be 2 new episodes coming out. It's going to lead directly into the new Punisher season in May, which will ultimately lead into the new Spider-Man Brand New Day movie coming out in July. The series, I believe both these series are going to be taking place before the new Spider-Man movie. But Daredevil's back. How did you feel about the first episode? Are you excited for it? Have you been looking forward to it?
Yeah, man, it's definitely been, one of my most anticipated releases of this year. I'm split. I like the first episode, but it's the thing that we loved about Invincible was that they dropped the first 3, so we really got into the story. We kind of knew the direction we were going in. First episode, I'm like, all right, just give me a little bit more so I can form my opinion. But we start off quick. It feels like they took a lot of things that people didn't like from the first season and just threw it all into one big pot this episode, which is, working for me in some ways, and other ways feels a little bit rushed, but I'm pretty excited to see where we go.
I was talking to somebody about the movie. Like, the show itself is so grounded, like a street level crime and stuff like that, but I feel like the world has gotten so big. There's so many characters in this place now, like in the show, that you got to be like, not care for, but just like, oh, you got to remember them for another season coming up. But Matthew Lillard joined the cast, and he immediately connects to
part of the episode.
He immediately connects the show to the bigger MCU because he's on the phone with Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character. On the phone, you don't hear her or see her or anything like that, but you know he's making a connection. And I was listening to an interview with him, like, he had no idea who that was. He had no idea that was her character in MCU, which is hilarious. But it's an interesting choice to see him in this kind of role. Like, I'm excited to see more of him. You don't know too much about him. He's definitely someone you just know you can't trust, because I don't think he's telling the truth fully. Kingpin is definitely interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on in the show, and the spoiler alert, but this episode does end with a cliffhanger. And the funniest thing I thought about this whole episode, he gets saved. Daredevil gets saved by some help from
Bullseye.
Bullseye, thank you. He gets help from Bullseye, and he throws a knife that says, "You're welcome." I was like, he's blind. He can't read that. What are you talking about?
You're funny as hell. That's stop it.
My only complaint at this, if it's just me being like nitpicky, I feel like the fighting scenes were a lot better in either the Netflix show and the first season, because I feel like there's a lot of fights in this movie, or in the first episode, excuse me, that I just can totally tell that these hits are not connecting. Like they're totally stage fighting. It's either the lighting that could be messing with it, or just like I don't know.
That's
It
so
was
funny. I'm
bothersome
the
for me.
exact opposite. No matter what, Netflix is the best. They win hands down. It's not even a close race. But I think this is a better improvement over season 1 at least. Like it's not as choppy. Like that was my big issue with the first season. One punch could take 3 cuts. So I think I just more so was sitting back and enjoying like watching the through line. But I'm also not very nitpicky on that. Like seeing people get their asses handed to them by Daredevil. So that's good enough for me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Do you think we're gonna see any? What are your predictions for cameos in this season?
Well, we already know that we have Jessica Jones coming back, which is phenomenal. So I wouldn't even consider that a cameo. She's a reoccurring character, hopefully. But I don't know, man. Like you said, the world is kind of getting bigger and bigger, but obviously they need to contain it due to everything that's coming next. So did they announce Luke Cage? Is he confirmed to come back?
As far as I remember, I believe he's still rumored. I don't know
Okay.
if he's confirmed or not.
That would be my my happy moment, but everybody else, like, I'm cool with just sticking with the characters that we already got here. What about you?
Okay. I know Jessica Jones, and I'm excited for her because I really miss her show. Luke Cage will be sick. Iron Fist, I wouldn't be hurt if he's not in this movie because I also
No,
heard he's gonna be rumored to be in Shang-Chi 2, which I'll be extremely happy for that at least.
as long as they recast him.
I think they're gonna be like sea-level characters again. Like the first one, we had the White Tiger. I think there'd be characters like him in this season. So who knows? I'm hoping at least references more to Spider-Man, since like I said, this is leading directly into it because he gets the key from the city. And the new one looks like, and Frank Castle. I hope he comes back. I like how already Karen's more a character in this season than the first season. Like that's I'm cool to see her again.
Yeah, but that's why I say, like, it kind of feels a little bit rushed. And listen, I'm an end result guy. So as long as we got here, I'm pretty chill. But there is something to be said about, story building. I know, obviously, it's the first season. So they absolutely can take their time doing some flashbacks or get us caught up there. But it was a bit jarring to start the episode and be like, whoa, okay, I thought this was a dream sequence. No, they're just together and moving. And we are not spending any time on that. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, it's the first episode. Like I said, that we have like 7 more to go. Next week, there's 2 new episodes coming out, so I'm excited for it. I love the content. I'm pumped for it. I'm gonna go over to Max now because there's 2 shows I'm watching on Max currently, and I don't know if you heard of them or heard anything about them yet. But the first one is Rooster on Max, starring Steve Carell. And if you like the shows like Shrinking on Apple TV, I think you would really love this show because the problems of the show are nothing bigger than the characters themselves. It is funny. It's a dry humor kind of comedy alongside like maybe Scrubs, like kind of thing. Steve Carell's awesome. He plays a sincere father figure, but he's also letting out a little bit of Michael Scott come out every other scene. It's hilarious. It's awesome. We're halfway through it. I believe there's like 10 weekly episodes in total. There's about 5 out right now by the time we're recording this. It's something. Check it out. Check it out. Like, it starts off very slow and dry, but like I said, the problems like are not that big.
I'm for sure going to check it out, and I think I can guess what your next one is going to be. I think my issue / my plan right now is to let like 2 or 3 weeks go by so I can just binge them, because they seem very bingeable series to me from everything that I've seen through the advertising when I'm watching other shows. So I think that's my plan right.
Yeah, like that's exactly why the reason I started it now, because like there was like 4 or 5 episodes out right now, and it's funny. There's a lot of celebrity cameos in there. Like not even cameos, like they're characters in the show. Like excuse me, I can't remember the name for the older guy from Scrubs, like who plays the head doctor, if I'm mistaken. And then you also get Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Days Off. He's in there. He's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And,
Okay. Hell yeah. Well,
yeah,
he's HBO royalty from Succession, so good for him.
yeah. He's maybe in it for I don't know. He might come back. I don't know, but it's a good show. Check it out. Check it out. And the next one, I'm sure you know what this is going to lead to. DTF St. Louis, now streaming on Max. It's a love triangle between 3 adults experimenting middle age that leads to one of them ending up dead. Starring Linda Cardellini and Jason Bateman and David Arbor. 5 episodes out right now, with a weekly episodes within 7 in total. So we're almost done with the show. It's It starts off weird, Brandon. Like the first 2 episodes, like I wasn't sure about this. Like you think you can figure it out within the first 2 episodes. Like these characters aren't that deep, but no, it's like I said, there's a murder in there. I'm not gonna say which one's murder, but like then they get arrested, and then you're telling the story. You're going back and forth between different parts of the story, so it's like it's just good storytelling. It's very streaming algorithmic, if that's a word. But it's interesting. David Arbor is so funny in this thing.
In
He does a
everything.
random gymnastic scenes, like we could totally tell it was a stunt double, but it was hilarious how they just casually threw it in there. Jason Bateman, this is one of his more serious roles. He is a funny actor, but he's definitely the more serious one in this one. And Linda is so good in this show. Like it's
She's just
it's
fantastic
picking
and
up.
everything. I haven't even seen it yet, and I can already tell, like, from the promotions that I'm gonna love her.
Yeah, you're like every other episode, you get different perspectives. You get perspective from Jason's character, then you get for David's character, then Linda, and then you also get perspective from the cops. And then you don't know what's being told truth, like how truthful they are, like what kind of relationship they were really in. It's interesting, Brandon. Like I cannot tell you how much I recommend this show for you. I think you would like it. Like I said, there's about 5 episodes out right now. New episodes come out Sunday, which is today. I'm gonna go home and watch this. I think it comes out tonight, but
All right, Rob. So, $1,000,000 question. You talked about DTF St. Louis. You talked about Rooster. If I could only binge one, which should I go with?
DTF Rooster. DTF Rooster.
Really?
So if DTF Rooster seems not DTF Rooster, DTF St. Louis seems like a short series, I don't think they would really come back to this. It kind of reminds me of like the tone of Jason Bateman's last show, the Blackbird? But Blackbird was a lot more fast paced. It was like they're always getting in different kind of things, but like it felt like the drama tone feels very similar to that, and it's very good. I'm excited to get into it. I didn't look it up, but I'm assuming Jason Bateman directed maybe an episode or 2.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Now
last
the
time you told
Rooster,
me between Blackbird and Task, was it Task Force or Task? Uh, with Mark Ruffalo, you told me to pick the Jason Bateman. So I stuck with you this time. So I wanted to see which one between Rooster and DTF St. Louis would be the best show, or at least come out on top.
I feel like Rooster could be picked up for multiple seasons. I definitely could see
Okay.
that. So I mean, you definitely have time to watch that, and I'm not in no big rush. Like I said, it's a dry comedy. It's funny, but I don't know. Some of the characters I feel having trouble falling into their story in the show. There's a lot going on, but yeah, it's funny. Yeah, definitely watch DTF St. Louis on Max. Paramount Plus. Talk to me about Paramount Plus. What are you watching on there right now?
Yeah, man. Similarly to Max doing their 2 shows running at the same time, Paramount is running The Marshals, or Marshall, which is a spinoff of Yellowstone, starring Casey, one of the sons from Yellowstone. And what's the other one? Man, I'm already forgetting because it's that bad of a show. It's with this is gonna kill me. Madison. See, both of them, Marshall and Madison, are very close to each other. But the Madison is a terrible show that I am hate watching on Paramount Plus. It stars Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. It's basically a show about grief, which is really interesting. It has, anything that Taylor Sheridan writes has like his DNA completely through it. You see that with Landman, Yellowstone, Mayor of Easttown, all those shows that basically run Paramount Plus. So when I watched like, all right, you got Yellowstone spinoff and you got the Madison, both shows anchored by at least, someone that we know which one was going to come out on top. Marshall's is like very action based, man. They kind of like are rewriting this character who was basically a pacifist forced to, exact revenge or vengeance or what have you on other people for his family in the Yellowstone. Now he's just doing it because he wants to move on with his life. So that's pretty interesting, but it's also terrible. Like both of these shows are, I guess if you had to say like, how like when you watch a movie, it's like, oh, this is a money grab, right? Like they just threw this together to have, it feels like they didn't really have anything on Paramount. So they were like, here, let's just greenlight these 2 shows. I'm sure people are going to like it, but when I watch Landman, it's a hate watch because the show is like somewhat has these really good moments in it. It's just like not for me. This show, I'm like watching an episode will end and I'll be like, why did I just watch that? But my plight in life is not being able to stop television shows. So they're both skippable, if you ask me.
Okay, Paramount, that's my least one I watch, I would say right now. Like
That-
Yellowstone is on there and it's all good. Like it is a good show. I finished like the first half of the season. I just couldn't get that and Landman. Like I know very good
Yellowstone's
things about.
phenomenal. Yellowstone's phenomenal. And it's the thing that launched like, the TV verse, as you would say, but Landman, it's just it's interesting show. A lot of it is like, it's for a very specific audience, but for whatever reason, it kind of works for everybody because even if you don't like certain characters, you like the situation that they're in. Or if you're like me, you're yelling at all the characters involved the whole time. But it's like very like well written in the fact that there's some good quips that keep you through. Even Lioness is a really good Paramount Plus show that's coming back. But when I watch both of these, I'm like, man, they are really just filling the calendar here, which is disappointing to say the least.
Yeah. I've been getting recommended like all the time. This is it the Yellow Jackets? Is that on Paramount or is that on Prime?
Yellow Jack, I thought that was on
About like
Peacock. I could be wrong.
no, it's not on Peacock. I know that, but I've been getting recommended that a lot lately. People are just like telling me what's happening in the show. Like it does sound very interesting. I think once I finish one of these shows, I might pick that up.
Yeah, you gotta make it through some of these Paramount Plus shows, just so you can. Like, are you a Taylor Sheridan fan?
Yeah. I would
Like,
say so.
from a movie standpoint, right? Hell or High Water, I just rewatched. Phenomenal. Sicario. What's that? Wind River is one of the best movies of all time, like in my humble opinion. And I think he also wrote Prisoners with Villeneuve directing. So he's had like, so much success in that front, but it's almost dwarfed by like everything that he's doing in the TV world. Like it's very fascinating to see someone who can play both sides of just writing content that is either relatable or entertaining for the masses. Like Shonda Rhimes, I know we talked about this a long time ago, but like Shonda Rhimes had a chokehold on ABC for so long, and to see like Tyler doing this for Paramount, I'm just like, how does your brain work? Like that's so fascinating.
I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll give it a shot. This isn't really a new streaming show that came out, but it is something that new came on Disney Plus. We have the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana premiered on Disney Plus with random as guests Billy Ray Cyrus, Selena Gomez, and Chappelle Roan. Did you watch this by chance? Were you a big Hannah Montana kid growing up?
I was a massive Hannah Montana fan. Are you kidding me? The golden era of Disney. I saw all these people doing their Mount Rushmore of Disney list on X and Twitter, and I'm like, people were leaving off Hannah, and it was really getting to me, Rob. So I wouldn't say I was excited for this, but it felt the nostalgia coming out. But like everyone else, I thought this was going to be some recreations of the show itself. And it basically was a glorified podcast with a lot of like missing key stars. And I know that like Emily Osment, for example, reached out and let us know like she wasn't going to be there, but it didn't feel right, not having the whole crew there.
No.
What about you?
I watched this. I hated it. It was ridiculous. First of all, I think they wanted to be more like the Friends reunion where they had like the reactions of visiting the set and everything. Totally staged. I could totally tell that was not her first reactions viewing it. It's like, wow. It was ridiculous. Like I hated that. They had random, like, I get it, like, it was cool to see, like, some of the behind-the-scenes people, like, well, one, her mother, and then two, like, some producers and writers on their show, like, talking to them about it. It was cool, them going through the set, and then her going through her wardrobe. Why have these random-ass, like, Selena Gomez, like, why was she on there? Like, why does she need to put her input? Like, yeah, she was on it, made a guest message.
I was cool with Selena because, like, obviously it's in the same family. But when Chappell Roan showed up, I said, all right, guys, what are we doing? What's actually happening right now?
And they pick, like, the worst celebrity for that. Like she's like the most hated celebrity right now, like on like social media. Like I don't know if you've seen the drama going on with her.
I can't stand her.
They picked bad timing for that. Billy Ray Cyrus on there. It was cool to see him and her together again. He was on there for a total of 4 minutes, I think. And you mentioned Emily Osment and Mitchell Musso. They were on, like they said they were too busy. And I was like, why not just postpone the show then? Like why not just wait till they're available? Or two, like if you're not, just have like send a camera crew to them. Like hey, what did the show mean to you at the time you were 15? Like you don't need them to be on more than 4 minutes. And the part that pissed me off the most, like they had a red carpet premiere where they had cast members on the red carpet, but they weren't even in the freaking thing. I was like, what the hell's the point of this? It was ridiculous. I did not care for this at all. It was very disappointing. Yeah, like you said, it was a glorified podcast. They didn't really do anything. It was cool to see her perform some of the same songs again. But she could do that in her own
Yeah.
time. She didn't really need She didn't need this platform to do that.
No, it didn't need to be wrapped in this Hannah, shell for her to be able to do all of this. Like, I almost would have preferred that. But yeah, man, I guess this made me feel old as hell. Like, even saying like 20-year reunion, I'm like looking at my left and right, like, no shot. But I think that this was like, it's one of those things that it obviously didn't work here, but I think they really just fumbled this for future events. Like, they really could have had, and again, selfishly nostalgic, this happened for like Wizards in a few, or like Sweet Life and Zack and Cody. Like, we would have kept coming back. It didn't have to be like a musical thing, but if they would have like been able to capture it, they would have set a blueprint to be able to do this with all the nostalgia bait from our era. But yeah, no, it fell right on its face, if you ask me.
It was very nostalgia bait, and they did show a handful of clips from the original show. I was like, damn, I remember that show. Like, I remember like that episode and how I felt and stuff like that. It got me feeling like, damn, like you said, exactly old. I felt so old. Like, to us, like these shows and Wizards and Zack and Cody, like
Raven,
they made us think like that's how teenagers act. Like, that's how high school was gonna go. Like it definitely formed our mindsets a little bit. Yeah, the show was crazy. Now I just got some Hollywood updates that we could talk about a little bit. We got our first trailer for the new Harry Potter series coming out to Max this Christmas. Brand new cast, looks amazing. Harry looks more like book accurate, adding new stuff to it looks like. Did you see it? What did you think about it? Are you excited for it?
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I know this got a pretty split reaction online, but I'll tell you, just purely from watching the trailer, which is interesting how early it came out compared to everything else we keep talking about. I felt
Christopher Nolan like set the bar, like setting a year out full trailer. Like
No, and on top of that, setting the ticket sales available. That was like the drop mic moment. But we're still waiting on a little bit more from Doomsday coming through. But yeah, man, watching this come out, like I felt the magic. I historically have not read the books, so I'm not as like attached to the accuracy there. I grew up on the movies. I watched the movies. I love the movies. And if you're telling me that I get more of that, more story built around these characters that look pretty good to me, I'm good to go.
I'm the same way. I didn't read the books growing up. I love the movies a lot. But I'm currently listening to the audiobooks right now on Audible, which is, if you haven't done it, any books on Audible, I highly recommend starting with this one, because like the different characters for each cast, they have like great sound effects. It's an amazing listen to. Like, I'm currently in the middle of the second book right now. I think they're up to the 4th or 5th book release right now, but by the time the show comes out, I'm sure you'll be caught up.
Where does Harry Potter rank in your love of fandom?
Honestly, not that high. Not that high at all.
Okay.
Top 20 for sure.
Whoa.
But probably not.
Whoa.
Probably top 10.
My God. Okay, that's absurd. But all right.
Honestly, like, I'll probably put, this is just me, I would probably put Rocky over Harry Potter,
Hey. Live your life. What do you at least know? What house are you?
I think I've taken the test. I believe I'm Gryffindor.
Let's see it. All right.
Okay, what do you see me?
I don't know, man. You got you're a lot more Slytherin like from
crazy.
From our interactions. Okay. That's not an insult. People,
what about you?
I need to tell everybody, like, Slytherin is not an insult. They actually have a lot of great qualities that are applied terribly. All the houses are really cool. They talk about great personality. We're always going to get along as long as you're not a Hufflepuff. Okay, those people are just sitting clapping for everybody on the bench, so it'll be all right.
What are you, Brandon?
I'm a Gryffindor through and through, unfortunately.
You're a Ravenclaw. You're a Ravenclaw.
Never. Ravenclaws are way too smart, dude. I'm not book savvy enough for that.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming out on Christmas. I'm excited. It's the perfect timing for it. I do consider these Christmas movies, so it makes sense that it's coming out on Christmas.
Agreed.
I know we talked about how much we love weekly episodes. I kind of wish I would dump all in Christmas. Like, I'd love to binge it on Christmas Day. That'd be sick. And the creator, some of the producers came out and say, like, hey, don't expect this to be like a yearly thing where we get a new season. He said it'll probably be even closer to like every other year. We'll probably get a new season.
No,
which is crazy to me.
So,
like,
is that confirmed?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. They
the
have
next
these
season
kids
probably won't be
at
until like
these
2028.
ages. They're gonna age out so freaking fast. Well, I guess 13. How old are they right now? 12, 13? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What they spent $1 billion to acquire this? Like, basically the Amazon treatment. Like, I don't know. I feel like the best way to make this work is once a year.
And how do you feel just about like the originals? Well, I guess they're turning 30 this year. I mean, 30 pretty soon. Like, how do you feel about them like doing so quick, like a reboot? I mean, we've seen Spider-Man like rebooted like several times, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
So.
I've never minded a reboot because, and maybe this is crazy to think about, we still have the originals. So everyone, we can calm down. It doesn't erase anything. They still exist. If they said, "Hey, we're purging it from society and you only have this," then I can see everybody getting upset if it's not the way they want or what have you. But like any remake, any, redo, if you hate it, great news. The original still exists. Go watch that instead.
All right, we're gonna be talking about as we get updates coming along because I'm sure we're gonna get another trailer, probably closer to midsummer time with the next trailer, I would
Oh, for
imagine.
sure.
Up next, Hollywood news: Kirsten Dunst joins the cast. Kirsten Dunst joins the sequel to The Housemaid, which is going to be called The Housemaid's Secret, with returning cast Sydney Sweeney and Michelle Moraine. Paul Feig returns to direct, and the first movie grossed around $400 million on a budget of $35 million.
Crazy.
No dates yet to when this is going to be expected, but you can assume it's going to be coming out in 2027. Did you see The Housemaid last year?
I finally watched it on a plane after swearing it off. It got to me, and I'm so glad that I did, dude. I liked it. Like, it's a weird movie for sure, and I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. But I very much enjoyed this.
I liked it. I'm the same as you. I did enjoy it overall. Like I hated like the first hour and 15 minutes in this. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, leave, like just leave. Like, no one's forcing you to be there. Like, this is crazy. But then when you switch, like everything starts unfolding and the plot thickens a lot, it picks up really good, and I'm excited for it. And they did leave it open for possible sequels. I wish, I don't know, this is me, like to me this is like a money thing. Like, I don't think it needed the sequel. Like, I think I don't want her to be like the term, like a Equalizer or something like that, where that's her. Like, she was not this kind of person before. Like, I don't want her new thing is she's a murderer.
Well, I guess it's based off the book, right? And I believe the book has a sequel. So for that reason, I'm cool with this. So like, if this was out of the blue and they just wanted to do it just because, that would throw me off a lot more. But knowing that it's still the same source material is good. I'm slightly opposite. Like, I heard a lot of people say that like they were waiting for the switch to happen and then the movie takes off. I'll tell you, when right at that apex, like at that midpoint where Sydney ends up with the dude, I almost turned it off. I was like, oh, I feel like something's coming, and I kind of just want them to have a happy ending. And I was like ready to and I stayed, I kept it on, and I was like,
yeah,
this did not go in any way, shape, or form that I thought it would. Holy cow. So I appreciate both sides of the movie.
I know what kept you going. It was that hotel scene, and then he's like, you know what? You bought yourself another hour.
Come on, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Amanda, like, wow, gorgeous.
Yes.
Like, just a badass cast. And I think we were talking about, forgive me, I forget the guy's name who played the lead in this, but he is 100% my new fan cast for Batman, for Bruce Wayne. I think he would make a phenomenal Batman.
Yes. I think he might, this is me, I think he might be a little bit too old to go along with David Corset's Superman,
No, dude, how old is that guy? You're crazy.
He looks probably close to 40, and now David Cornset maybe early 30s, I would say.
Dude, this guy's 35. He's 35.
Okay. I can see what you mean though. He does remind me of like a Hemsworth brother. Honestly, he's a very handsome guy, and he's a great actor too. Like, that's what Paul Feig saw.
He's a really good actor.
I think he was one of the first people casted.
Yeah, he did. He had that like swagger down. Like, I more so saw him as Bruce Wayne first, but he also has like this quiet physicality to him that I think that they could really play up. But yeah, Cornsweat's 32, this guy's 35. Come on, dude. That's a perfect age range.
Okay, get that trending. Let's get that trending. Like, let's push for him to be Batman, Up next, we got a Up next, we got a brand new trailer for The End of the Oak Streets, a sci-fi thriller produced by J.J. Abrams, written and directed by David Robert Mitchell, starring Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. It follows a family where a suburban neighborhood is transported to a prehistoric era following a mysterious cosmic event. Now, had this not starred Anne Hathaway and it just like be like a random nobody, I don't think I would care too much about this movie. But the fact that she's in her, I'm more invested in it. Like, the story is interesting. Don't get me wrong. It has dinosaurs in it. Like, I'm always gonna watch something with dinosaurs. And look, the dinosaurs look pretty cool in this one. But the story itself is like, like, if your neighborhood gets it sounds like a cartoon almost, Have you seen the trailer for this? What did you think about it?
Saw the trailer, and similar to you, I stopped at Anne Hathaway. Oh, she's in this? I'm
Yeah.
watching it. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. It looks interesting enough, but we know what we're here for.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it, and I think Steven Spielberg is attached to this as well, so I'm watching it for him too. The last update I got for you: Jumanji 4 changes its date from December to Christmas Day now. It's going to be the 4th and final installment, returning to direct. We have Jake Kasdan. Looks like the game will be coming to our world instead of us going to their world for a change. And the reason they changed it is to avoid a clash with Doomsday and Doomsday.
Duh.
Doomsday. And I was like, that was probably the smartest thing they could do. Like, that Christmas Day is probably their Hail Mary to get anywhere near like a profit on their box office.
Well, it's so label this under we all saw this coming. I still think that either Doomsday or Dune needs to move. I feel strongly about that. But I'm cool with, if they want to run it at the same time, like, let that happen. It cannot be overbloated. I do think it's fascinating. Like, obviously the mindset here is if we come out before them, then we completely cut off all our sales the next week, versus like, hey, maybe we can get the people who are going to the movies to see the trailer when they're watching Doomsday and then come back and watch us that following week. I still think it's a little close. I still think know that December works really well for Jumanji. I think it would have been slightly smarter to throw this at Thanksgiving and give them that boost, but the other, the last two came out around the same time for December, so it makes sense. And they made a shit ton of money, way more than anybody expected. So, with it being the last one, I don't think they want to make money, but I don't think it's as important that they make this massive profit to greenlight another one, if that makes sense. I think that they're just kind of closing the bow here and trying to, squeeze out as much as they can.
Are you big on the Jumanji franchise? I'm not huge on it anymore. I love the Robin Williams for sure, and I'm kind of mad they didn't really touch on his version a little bit more, like make it the same tone almost. But I'm not too big on these. I don't even know if I saw the third one thinking about it.
Dude, I'm not just big on them. I love them. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is I wouldn't even call it a guilty pleasure. These are good movies, and I'll argue with anybody about that. Like, I thoroughly love the Kevin Hart and The Rock combo. And these movies like actually have a lot of heart. Like the thing that they did with the third one of using like Danny Glover, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name, but yeah, I love the impressions. I love what they're doing in this world, and this is the next logical step. We've obviously been in Jumanji 1,000 times now. Let them come to our world and see how that goes. And you get all the cast together, which I'm also excited for. So no, I love these.
Okay. We're gonna be watching either way. It's been my annual thing to go to the movies on Christmas Day now, and this might be. I can't think of off the top of my head any one of them, but it's so far away. I'm not thinking about that now. Before we get into our big movie of the week, we have two movies I want to talk about as well. But first, I want to hear what you think about Ready or Not 2.
Man, I liked it enough. I think I actively was irritated watching it just because, and you know how we talk about like there's movies that you have to turn your brain off. You just have to. The moment you start like analyzing it, it falls apart. And I was doing that from the beginning, like and I was getting real nitpicky, and I just wasn't having the best time. Like there's like that one part where they first wake up in the forest and the drone is talking to them, and the girl shoots the drone because it was about to give them key information. And I was like, you can make that drone shot, but you can't shoot one of them in anywhere on their body. Like that's crazy to me, because she just starts missing out of nowhere. Like it was like stuff like that was bothering me. And then I said, Brandon, shut up. All right, just throw some popcorn in your mouth and see if this is entertaining. And by that regard, it was a lot of blood. It was gory as all hell. And it was definitely like go, go, go. But it was dragged down, if you ask me, by the 37 conversations she had to have with her sister about their trauma. Like, guys, we got to put this on the back burner. We're being hunted alive. But that's like kind of what made it fun for me. Like I was kind of yelling with the movie instead of just at it. So yeah, it was fine enough.
And that trauma bothered the hell out of me, because that wasn't really traumatic what they did. She turned 18 and she just moved out. And the sister was like 16 or whatever. I was like, and it's not like she was homeless. She lived with the family that she said was, they were pretty decent people. I was like, what's the
But
problem
you left
here?
me and you
You
promised that
coulda-
you never leave me. I was like, and that's, I think, my thing. Like, I gave them the rope to have that conversation, the big blowout once. Duh, right? That needs to happen. But about the second and third time they were talking, I'm like, oh my God. Like, guys, one, it's not that deep. But two, again, we're being hunted. Yo, like, throw this on the back burner. Put this on a shelf. This is not important right now at all. Like, it really was giving some first world problems. And not to minimize, like, obviously, attachment, blah, blah, blah. But for movie purposes, I was like, this is so stupid. And I didn't care at all about their relationship whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, these movies are made for a specific type of audience, and yeah, Elijah Wood was a cool addition to it, though. I like Elijah Wood in this a lot. He was fun.
Yeah, he was like what do they call it? Like an auditor in like the John Wick franchise, like that just comes in their whole dedication is to the rules. I think he did that absolutely well, and it was a lot of fun people that I liked. Like I enjoyed most of this cast. But yeah, man, like I think the sister relationship was not it for me, and the ending didn't make a lot of logical sense. But again, turn off your brain. People exploded, so good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, I went to go see a movie too, in theaters. I went to go see They Will Kill You, brand new release. This one was written by Alex Litvak, directed by Kirill Sokolov. I made a video talking about new movies coming out. I had to repeat myself like 8 times to practice that. But it's about a woman who takes a job in a housekeeper in a New York high-rise, unaware that the building's history of disappearance. She soon realizes that the community shrouded in a mystery. I mean, the biggest catch that made me want to watch this was it stars Zazie Beetz. For people who don't know her, she's from like Deadpool 2. She played Domino in there. It also has Draco Malfoy, Tam Felton. Yes, Atlanta too. She is dope in this one. She is fantastic. I loved her. This movie is like a combination of like Kill Bill and Ready or Not. It's a little bit like, as far as like the directions, like with the camp, you can totally tell they're wearing like wires. It's like they're flying through the sky, like trying to chop somebody's head off with a sword. Very much like Kill Bill. But then like you also have people like creative and like most bloody as death in this thing. I was thinking, I was like, when in history did we change the perspective of people dying like to comedic? That's kind of insane. If someone from the like 1901 or whatever watched a movie like this today, they would think we're all murderers, like, or crazy satanic people. Like, it's insane. Like, when did we make that turn where it was okay to laugh when somebody's dying?
You know what? They were coming fresh off of slavery, so they can handle it.
Yeah, good point. But it's. I mean, what to describe in the plot? There's nothing more deep into it. Like, she's just going in the hotel, killing everybody with a little bit of John Wick style fights in this too. The weirdest thing about this one, like, you kill somebody, but they get resurrected. Like they cannot die, and she figures out how to kill them at the end. And like you meet Satan himself. Like I said, like there's too much Satan going on for me in this past 2 weeks. Like I gotta change something up here. Like we need something to change. I had a good time watching this. I went to go see it with my dad. He did fall asleep twice, he said, and so like that tells you all you need to. I think I gave like a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, but watch it for her alone. Like if you're home, Brandon, if you can manage Ready or Not 2, you can manage seeing this movie too. It wasn't scary or anything like that. It was just gruesome and a lot of blood. But watch it for her alone in this thing. Tom Felton's good in too.
It kind of seems like a and I, listen, we'll always go to the movie theater, but it seems like a streaming hit, like something that would be really easy to pop on, 10:30 on a Friday and just let it ride.
And the biggest thing that bothered me was not about the movie itself, was about the theater. Like something was totally off about the speakers. Like some scenes, like where they're talking, you could hear like a little bit staticky or like a little something going on with it. That just irritated the fuck out of me. And also, like me and my dad went to the theater. We sat at the very top row because like in the aisle, so we could have a little more legroom to stretch out. This couple sits like 1 seat away from my dad. Like the entire theater is like mostly empty, and this couple sits right next to us. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? I hate that.
Yeah, it's this seat is taken, guys.
Exactly. But the big movie we're going to be talking about, it's the start of baseball season, so we were trying to find common ground for what movie we're going to be watching about this movie. And you picked Moneyball. And I didn't want to tell you this because I'm sure I know your reaction, but this is my first time watching this movie,
What?
Moneyball. Yes. I knew all about it. I knew who started it. I know about the awards and everything like that. I know everything I need to know about it. And not that I was avoiding watching this, I just never set aside time to watch this movie. And now that the time we do pick to watch it, I had to rent this movie. It pisses me off. Like, I have all these guys staying streaming services, and it's not streaming anywhere, so I had to rent it for $3.99. Anyways, well, we picked. It's the start of baseball season. Let's get into that real quick. You excited for that? You're gonna go see the games. Who's your team?
Yeah, not a massive baseball fans, but the White Sox is literally written in my DNA, South Soy. So I will be absolutely cheering for another uh really exciting start and then a terrible everything else. And that's how it seems like we're going so far. But yeah, if you're from, our hometown, the region, 99.9% of the people, it is a house divided, Cubs or Sox. Which one do you fall?
You know, I same like you. I'm not a big sports fan at all, really. But I grew up in a household like the entire house is Cubs fans. Our house is a Cubs household. I do enjoy going to both games. I think we're gonna go to the Father's Day Cubs game, but I do enjoy going to the Sox game as well, just as much. It's just fun to go out there. It's an experience. Like as baseball is just a sign of the springtime coming. Like I'm excited to
It
get
is.
into the good weather. It's fun
Yeah.
watching the games. Like it's just a good time of the year right now.
I will say the Cubs, this is the thing that all of us hate to admit. Fantastic stadium, and more so, it's way safer, but there's way more to do outside in Wrigleyville, heading out, going to the bars down there. You can make kind of a day out of it. If you're going to guaranteed rates, you're going home afterwards, at least with me. So I'll give you guys that. Like, I love to go to the Crosstown Classic. That's kind of the game of all games for us. And it doesn't really matter that the Sox will lose 90% of the time. Have an absolute blast. And on the off chance that we win, I am insufferable. So I kind of look forward to that.
Okay. And it's been I feel like I was trying to think about this while I was watching this movie. Like, it's been quite a while since we had a good sports movie like this come out. Don't you agree?
Yeah, sports movies are pretty hard to make. Like, obviously, the big ones are normally like fighting, like Creed. But yeah, to make this, and what if this is how I feel about this movie? Like, what if I told you that one of the most influential sports movies of all time about baseball barely shows any baseball in it? Like, it breaks my brain, but it's so phenomenal.
I was gonna bring that up too. Like there was like a montage of baseball scenes, but that was like the last like half hour of the movie, and it's crazy. Like we talk about sports movies, like there's not that many baseball ones I can think of off the top of my head. Well, there is a good handful, but like I feel like most of the sports movies I watch are either football or, like you said, fighting movies. I think the last big one that I can remember is American Underdog, which is maybe like 4 years ago now. It saw it's back in theaters for some reason too. But I just loved like the score and this alone, like the soundtrack was amazing. It's phenomenal. Like how they make you feel so emotional. Some scenes, like, and this is a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Like you said, that you don't see too much baseball in it. You just learn how they make their picks and how they make more profits, and they make it interesting. They keep you on the edge of your seat just following. Like, Brad Pitt's character is phenomenal in this. Jonah Hill's character is amazing, even though, like I read, his character is fictional. Like it's incredible. Let me real quick about the synopsis. It's Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane's successful attempt to assemble a baseball team on a lean budget by employing a computer-generated analyst to acquire new players. This one was directed by Bennett Miller and written by Steven Zellion, and the story based by Stan Jarvin. Excuse me. It's based off a book written by Michael Lewis, if you don't, that name Michael Lewis doesn't sound familiar. He also wrote another book later in his career that turned into the movie The Big Short. So, I mean,
Sure.
he's a big analyst guy himself.
Please tell me you've at least seen that one.
Yeah, of course. I think I talked about it on the podcast with that one. I treated this like a movie theater, Brandon. Like, I really sat myself down and I set my phone on silent on the other side of the room. I turned off all the lights. I treated it like I was in the theater watching this movie, and it kept my attention. Like, it was good. I'm not a big numbers guy, like, outside of the podcast, but, like, I was following, damn, like, how's he gonna do with his budget? Like, oh, he's making, like, he has to cut people that people are gonna think he's crazy for, and Jonah Hill's character is so freaking smart in this movie. And this is, like, one of Jonah Hill's first serious roles right after, like, Superbad. Like, this is before, obviously, like, Wolf of Wall Street, and he it's hard to see him not, because this is like around the same weight as Superbad, I would say, and his same age, I would close to it. But he did so good in this movie. He was so good at this role. Like and I can tell like there were some scenes that were meant to be laughed at. Like in the theater, you might like when he had to cut somebody, when Jonah Hill's character had to cut somebody. I'm sure that was supposed to be funny, but like watching it by myself, like I missed that beat. You know, it wasn't quite there. I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself a lot. Brad Pitt was amazing. He looked almost like a Hemsworth brother with his haircut in this one. He looked handsome in this one. What did you think about it? What made you pick this movie?
Yeah, man. I almost felt bad because it did take me a second to realize there's not a lot of baseball in here. And you literally asked me, you're like, hey, baseball season is starting. What should we do to make, the inaugural season, movie wise? And I was like, dang, I really could have picked something like Sandlot or Angels in the Outfield, or something that, applies more to like getting everybody excited about all of this. But no, this is still lit because it is the most resonant one for me. And yeah, I think this was a complete surprise when I first watched it. Like you said, like Brad Pitt is in his absolute bag in this movie. But Jonah Hill, I was like, okay, a lot of difference here. Chris Pratt randomly shows up and was like, okay, this is before like, the Guardians of it all. But yeah, this like takes the stakes up, and it makes us care about like this little team that could, and like follows his logic and get into the nitty gritty of like, well, technically on paper you wouldn't be able to tell these people apart, but we're spending X million dollars more on that. Like that logic has applied to different parts of my life of like, am I just overpaying for something shiny, or like, how do we get to the brass tacks of it, and to see and work with this man as he has his plan pays off in a lot of big ways. It really felt like a story we could all get behind.
I 1000% agree with you. I don't know if this is true or not, or maybe it's just true for me because, like I said, I'm not a sports guy. I would assume like this movie changed a lot of things of how people are drafted nowadays to even today's date. Like, yeah, it's not all about just talents. It's about numbers, like how likely you are to get on base. Not even just like get home runs, like get on base. That's all they really need. Pitches, how many pitches are you like strikeouts are you throwing and stuff like that. It's all about numbers to them. It's analysts. Like they're able to break it down, and they're not just looking at talent. They're, like I said, looking at numbers, and that's what they're basing the thing. And I love that they included that in this movie. That the league itself comes to Brad Pitt. I was like, hey, like the Dodgers are spending like over a million and a half or for their players, and then you guys are doing it for like under $300,000, and you guys are you're like on a 20-game win streak right now. Like, this is either going to be a problem or it's going to change the way the baseball is going to be altogether. And it did change it a little bit. I'm sure they were looking at that stuff before this movie too, though. But
yeah, they definitely were, but this kind of just put that at the center. Like, I think previously, and I can't really speak on this, I don't know, but it feels like the data was used to back up theories that they had instead of letting the data tell the story, if that makes sense. Like, that's kind of how he went about it. And I love that, exactly what you're saying. Not only did them, but there was like infighting about this. Like he's coming and he's like, here's the black and white proof. And people are like, but it's a feeling, like, and you have those old heads that are so like resistant to this. And it makes sense. Like, obviously one, personality is part of it too. Like how a player actually is as a person. We see that now does matter in a lot of ways. Leadership, there's so many intangible aspects, but if you're just talking pure performance, you want to make sure you're giving yourself the best start. So start by picking, from that pool. And I think that's like a healthy conversation to have on how much do we allow like any type of statistics or data to influence our decision versus giving someone a chance who maybe didn't have that, or like what do they call it? Potential is not tangible. Like there's no data on that. You can kind of talk about like, here's their trend, but there's still a human element, and trying to figure out that balance as well is massive.
And you mentioned Chris Pratt's in this movie as well. I didn't catch him immediately. And the cool thing about this movie, if we didn't see Chris Pratt in this movie, we would have never seen him in Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn definitely stuck his neck out by pushing for Chris Pratt to come on there, and if Kevin Feige came out and told him like, because Chris Pratt lost 30 pounds for this role. I don't know if you knew that. He was a bigger guy. This is like around Parks and Rec too. He lost 30 pounds for this role. Kevin Feige goes like, hey, if you can slim down to what you look like in Moneyball, I'll give you this role. And if it wasn't for him watching Moneyball, like he probably would never have been Star-Lord. So kudos to that was pretty cool fact. It was cool seeing him in this role. Like he was pretty cool. Like similar to his real life person, like Chris Pratt trying to get this role. Like he was like, you want me? Like Like, I don't even play first base. That was cool to see, like, and then willing to take a chance on him, just because of his batting record. It was cool. I loved everything about this movie. I don't really have any complaints. Like I said, the score was amazing. The score, like, immediately from them listening to, like, the music, the motivational music, there was, like, a locker room scene, too, that was pretty impactful. There was also some scenes that were just kind of quiet, too quiet for me a little bit. I was like, oh, it'd been cool to add some music to this scene a little bit. But overall, I was happy with the score. Like, it's just motivational sport scores,
Yeah,
I don't think I have.
No, coming out of
Go ahead.
here, the big lesson learned was adapt or die, and we just got to keep moving. But also, bro, this had some award effort as well, like Best Picture. I believe that Brad Pitt got nominated for Best Actor here, so it was also cool seeing like a weird movie like this do so well. And now looking back, what 15 plus years later, like people still adore this movie. It holds up.
Now, I probably wouldn't put it in my top 10 sports movies all the time, but there are people who do. There are people who do put this in the top 10 sports movie.
I might, it works for me. I think a perfect sequel to this would be like watching a GM try to use AI to predict, like that just wouldn't go well. But no,
I see people like pick
perfect.
their March Madness brackets based off AI, and that's just not ending well for them.
Just a guess, but it's fun, man.
I got a game for this after this, but what would you give Moneyball 1 out of 10?
9.
9? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
8.5. Yeah, this is pretty high up there. Now I did some digging into this movie. This movie came out on September 23rd, 2011. These movies came out the exact same day. Moneyball won first place for the opening weekend, which came out with 19,501,302. and 302. Wolf and Tail came in second place, and that's with Morgan Freeman. I believe that's like an animated film. 19,153,000. And third place was Abduction with Taylor Lautner. Came out for 10,928,000. And the fourth and last place came in for Killer Elite, 9,376,905. Now, Brandon, 4 movies came out that week. Again, like that was released. None of those won the box office for highest grossing of the opening weekend, for that weekend specifically. Can you guess what came out that did?
So it came out.
It's going to be
I
hard.
assume it came out a week beforehand.
You would think. I was going to tell you because, like, you're never going to guess this. It was a re-release of The Lion King in 3D that broke 21,929,000. Insane that all these movies lost to that re-release of a 3D movie that came out like probably 15 years prior.
Trying to think, 2011, we were freshmen. I was trying to see if I was at the movie theater that weekend. Probably not for 3D for Lion King, but hell yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, but keep your mind there. I got a game right now. We're gonna play a game. 2011. Get your mindset in 2011 right now.
Okay.
I have the top 10 grossing movies for 2011. I'm gonna see if you can guess at least majority of the numbers that would be on this list. 2011. What movies do you think were the top 10 grossing movies of that year? And the only hint, I'll give you a hint, Brandon.
Okay.
These are all franchises too.
2011. So we're talking Avengers came out in what 2012.
2012.
Thor
Not on the list. Not the top 10.
did not come out in 2011. I'm trying to think of what movie came out right before. Is it a Marvel movie on there? Okay. I had to make sure I wasn't crazy there. Harry Potter.
Do you know which Harry
Deathly
Potter?
Hallows Part 2.
Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows came out was first place, 1.34 billion.
Okay. Dude, you're killing me. I didn't really. 2011. Hunger Games.
Hunger Games did not make the list. I don't even think it came out
Dude,
2011.
all right. You got to give me a hint. I'm.
Okay, one of these is your favorite franchises of all time.
It's not.
We
Star
talked about
Wars.
this maybe last year. This new movie that came out for this franchise last year and the year before.
And the year before. All right, hold on.
Yes,
It's
your
not
favorite
Star
actor of all
Wars.
time.
Mission Impossible.
Do you know which one came out in 2011?
2011 would have had to been. It's either Ghost Protocol or Rogue Nation.
It was Ghost Protocol. Mission
Okay,
Impossible
there we
Ghost
go.
Protocol came in 5th place for 694 million.
TC Legend.
Let's see. We did, man. It's kind of hard. These are big franchises. What are some of the franchises on top of your head?
that's what I'm saying. I'm going through them, and I guess I'm still like on fandoms. Like I'm thinking, obviously, it's no Star Wars. 2011. There's no DC because Superman came out in 2013.
There's no
I already
superhero
talked about,
movies.
yeah, I already talked about Harry Potter. Already talked about. That's definitely not Lord of the Rings. Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was number 3. Which one do you know?
No clue. I don't watch it.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tide came in 3rd place with 101.04 billion.
Okay.
All right.
Transformers.
Oh,
Transformers.
Transformers was number 2. You got the top 3 already. Transformers: Dark of the Moon, 1.12 billion.
Just trying to think of other franchises that I paid
One of them
attention
is
to.
animated. I'll give you a hint on this one. One of them is animated. Actually, 2 of them, 3 of them are animated. Excuse me.
I'm so stupid. You should have asked me what I watched yesterday. Literally, I just finished Cars. So I believe Cars 2 came out in 2011.
Cars 2 did come out. It was number 10. It was 559 million.
Okay. Oh man, I feel real good about that one. Another animated? What?
Another animated. There's 2 more, but one was
Well, let me stick
a
with let me
sequel as well.
Cars. Then obviously, not Mission Impossible. Fast and Furious.
Fast 5 came out 2011, 7th place for 626 million.
How many more I got left? After I had like 20 guesses already.
4. Yeah, 4 left. What was I for this past Halloween?
2011. Hangover.
Which Hangover?
It's not the first one, so the second one.
Hangover 2 came in 8th place for 586 million. All right, the third. There's 2 more animated one, and this one I mentioned this actor's name. It's like maybe like 5 minutes ago. Taylor Lautner. Taylor Lautner. What came out 2011?
Ew. Twilight
Saga: The Breaking Dawn Part 1 came in 4th place for 712.
I'm trying to like really put myself in our freshman year of what was going crazy. Okay. I wouldn't have got
so I got
that.
2 animated.
Is it Pixar or DreamWorks?
These are both DreamWorks. I don't know what one of them are for sure.
I'm split between How to Train Your Dragon and Brave. I don't know why those two.
Neither of those. So this first one that came in 6th place, I believe there's 4 or 5 movies. It had a spin-off show on Nickelodeon for a while. Stacked cast. I wouldn't not name the main ones. Angelina Jolie, Jackie Chan. I'm trying to name not big characters.
Kung Fu Panda.
You know which one? Kung Fu Panda 2 came in 6th place with 665 million.
Jeez, that's Danny's favorite.
You got
movie
one more.
franchise of all time.
You got one more, and I think this was remade like 3 or 4 times, but it is based off a cartoon like in the 70s and 80s. Think little, small people, very little, like the size of your hand maybe. They're blue. Smurfs came in 9th place with 563 million.
This was brutal. I feel good about my original, like, I feel good about knowing Thor and Captain America came out that year. I felt good about, like, Harry Potter. Yeah. But yeah, once you go down to the depths, I was sorry. And it's really funny that you picked 2011 because, like, legitimately in 2012, like, obviously Avengers came out, and that's where my brain tracks every movie. Like, I have distinct memories of, like I said, I remember seeing Man of Steel in 2013. I remember where I was, like, that's kind of where my brain launches. 2011. I think I was 14, man. I wasn't paying attention that deep.
But what a stacked list. Like, what a great year for movies to come out. Like, I'm going to go down the list again and recap. First place, we got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Second place, Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Third place, Pirates of the Caribbean on a Stranger's Tide. Fourth place, Twilight Saga: The Breaking Dawn Part 1. 5, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. 6, Kung Fu Panda 2. 7, Fast 5. 3, The Hangover Part 2. 9, The Smurfs. And 10, Cars 2. What a phenomenal year. Those are just the biggest movies, too, that came out that year.
Yeah.
So
Fast 5 is one of my favorite, is my favorite Fast and Furious movie. And I really do hate that the Captain America is not on there, but I can live with that. But yeah, Cars 2 is terrible.
I agree with that.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. 2019 is the greatest year in movies of all time. So,
well, we talked about like doing recap, like anniversary episodes for movies coming out, like whether it be 5-year, 10-year. We're gonna do that, but I want to do this game a lot more. Like, put your mindset in that year to see what movies came out that year, opening weekends and stuff like that. It's gonna be a big weekend next week, Brandon. There's gonna be 2 movies. We just talked about splitting them up, though. We're gonna getting Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's new movie, The Drama. I'm excited for that one because it's very mystery built around that movie, excuse me. And A sequel is going to be big for the families. It's going to be Mario Super Galaxy World. Mario is coming out as well. We're going to be splitting those two up though. But yeah, there's a lot of TV shows to watch right now. Like Invincible's still going strong. We didn't really touch on that, but it's getting good. Like the last episode left you like big cliffhanger to let you know something big is coming. I'm excited for it. And other than that, that's all I got for us. Brandon, it was a pretty good episode.
All right. Hell yeah. Until next time.
Until next time, thank you everyone for staying, and stay tuned next week where we'll be saving a seat.